Born in T.B. Watkins, 12th Street, Parade Park, Lincoln Gardens, Sycamore Grove, the North Side.
So you was there. So for you, because I know you're a younger guy, so you saw like Young Rich and some of those talents from Kansas City kind of growing up.
Yeah, yeah. Richard Factor and my older brother, John Kent, they used to be best friends. So I've been around. He know me from way back. I used to play baseball with his younger brother and all that, and actually really know him really well. We, I got songs with him, and we actually did a lot of things in the streets. Way, 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 way back before rap. So yeah, I know him.
100%. So let me ask you this: you know what gentrification is?
Yeah, kind of. You can tell me, just make sure I can try to explain it, but
Well,
not fully.
well,
You
it's
know what I
like
mean?
being that you mentioned Parade Park. Have you seen what they done with it recently? Where
I
they
heard they tearing it down. I guess they're gonna bring in the rich white or something like that.
and I mean that's the kind of politically incorrect way of saying it, but that's what ends up happening. For a
Yeah,
place like that, because I know you growing up in the area that was low income, right?
yeah. No, no, no. The income was low compared to how a person live now, but nah, we pay. It was regular rent. Nah, you know what's weird about like TB Walkers, all that kind of stuff, like Rascott Manor. 'Cause I even lived on Richard Factory block too, 10th and Park, all that, not 10th and Park, but 10th and Prospect. When I was from the age maybe like three to five, I lived on 10th and Prospect too, right across from Speedies, 10th Street, so I can claim it in the hoods. But anyway, so that kind of stuff was probably low income. TB Walker's low income, way minor, but Parade Park was actually a lot of people that had two parents in the home and working parents and all that. So, and it's weird because it's only 4 blocks away, but people was more, cleaner neighborhood, a little bit cleaner. Still violent, but a little bit more cleaner.
And I think that's a stigma of that side of town. Because when you think about that, you think it's the projects. You think the whole north side is the projects by the way the
Nah.
music kind of portray it sometimes.
Yeah.
So moving forward, so what was your first record that you ever put out?
First record. This first record I ever put out would probably be an album I did with Reese and Marcus, Down North Assassins, DNA. We formed a little group, and that was probably, man, let me see. Hold on. I was excuse me. Anyway, that was probably what year was that? 96 we dropped that one. Just some little underground street stuff, you know what I'm saying? Way, way back. Um, that was cool. We dropped that. And yeah, that was I still consider that the first. That ain't the first album I dropped, but that's the first project I appeared on. Let's just say it like that.
Yeah,
Had two
man.
people.
Because if you didn't know, and a lot of people, I can be honest and say, don't mention the fact that Mr. Stinky gave us a lot of the Kansas City cats we hear and or we idolize. Some of their
Yeah.
first songs was on
Hmm.
projects and compilations put out by Mr. Stinky.
Yeah.
Even things like Tone Capone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that's I make that paper make a sensation. Having that
Yeah.
verse, right?
Yeah.
How was it back then in those days when that dropped?
So we talking about 1998 when my first album dropped, Armed Criminal Action.
Armed criminal action.
I mean, where do I start? We start with Tom Capone. So, when you hear that, okay, so that's the title track, Armed Criminal Action, right? So when you hear I got that paper making sensation, that's not even Tone Capone. That's Fat Tone. See, that's what's so crazy. People didn't even know that. Like, that's Fat Tone on there. That's Fat Tone saying, I got that paper making sensation. No need for hesitation. That's Fat Tone as a young 16-year-old guy who I just had recruited. I recruited Fat Tone, Tone Capone around the same time. Didn't even know they knew each other. But the second verse on there, I put myself in my Beretta's place. Game educate. That's Tone Capone on the second verse of Armed Criminal Action. So he's definitely on the song. So yeah, but Paper Making Sensation is actually Fat Tone. But Tone Capone used to say, I got the Paper Making Sensation more than Fat Tone did on other rhymes and other songs. So I can see how it confused the people. Because they was all like best friends at one time, so they kind of had the same kind of flow and different little bars they would use. You know what I'm saying? So I would call them vigilante bars. So that's what that was.
That's crazy, man. I went to Ruskin, so we
Oh, you
was
did?
singing.
Okay,
I,
okay.
I, I was at Smith Hill probably in those days, but we was rapping that, man. That was our
Yeah.
song, and we sure thought that was Tone Capone rapping
Everybody
that
did. It's so
verse,
weird.
man.
Yeah.
It's crazy
And
how hip hop works, man.
yeah, that day that song was dropped, I was over at Big 11 Lake over in Kansas City, Kansas, and I got like 11 minutes till I get to go on stage. And they called me. They like Tech 9 at the studio here in West End. He ready to do your verse. I said, put that nigga on the title track. Who had made the beat? Dilemma. Shout out to Dilemma. Dilemma, good rapping ass Dilemma.
D-Loc and
He,
Dilemma.
yeah, that nigga
Okay.
can rap, boy. So both of them. Shout out to both of them. They both on the album. But they on ACA. They on Armed Criminal Action. And so Dilemma had made the beat. They played the beat for me over the phone. Everything was queued up. I'm here to go on stage. I said, look, I can't make it. I'm gonna send my two best over there. So I sent Tone Capone and Fat Tone. They left. So they was mad. Well, Fat Tone was mad because he about to get on stage with me. I'm like, nah, this is more important. I'm sending my best over there with Tech 9 because the show must go on. You get paid to do a show, you can't leave the show. But Tech 9 at the time was so hard to find. He be doing so much. We ain't gonna. We had the album about to drop because you know what's so crazy? We did all the last songs first, and the first song last. So Armed Criminal Action was the last song we did on the title track. So it was just we had to get everything complete, man. And I sent them over there. And they did what they had to do. That's why I'm not really actually on that song until the end. Because after I left the show, I shot to the studio.